This
Uh,
conference will now be recorded.
so welcome to session 3. We'll be today covering the ECP tools. Before we go there, so you have asked for an high level diagram. So I just try to capture it in a better way. Okay. So are you able to see my presentation?
Yeah, let me zoom in a bit. Just a second, please.
Okay. 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 Sure.
Yeah, now it's good. I've zoomed in from my side.
Okay.
And may I also ask Niladri one thing? I've
Hmm.
can't find that email. Which email ID have you sent the documents from? It came from a different ID, right? Some download.
Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, it is not allowed to give more than suppose it is OneDrive is not allowing me. So if the size of the file is high, for that reason, it is something like the transfer some app I'm using, and to that app I have you send that.
what's if I have to search in my inbox, I can't find it. What email ID was it?
Just a minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last session, I was talking about this web service and all Employee Central payroll site, info type framework, all these things I was talking about. Okay, so if you see here in the Employee Central payroll side, those web services are completely there. Okay, the direct web service call to EC data is XML and all. So it is there. Okay, similarly, your employee compound employee API is completely inside your Employee Central module. Okay, and on the top of this, we have these tools which we will be today covering: the data replication monitor, how this is actually confirmation and replication, how this is happening. Okay, that we'll be seeing today. Okay, and also you're asking the SAML. Okay, so SAML, how this works and all. So it is actually it's a different track. So in the top of this, whether you're accessing Employee Central or Employee Central payroll. Okay, so here you can see the user. Okay, the user will be starting the browser and will just logging into the Employee Central module or Employee Central payroll module. On the and on the top of this, you can see imagine a layer, and in that you will be having access to your IDP and your SP. SP is actually so your SML. So here we are not using service provider or anything like this. Okay. So for us, success factor is the only thing, and you are using this. Suppose the IDP you are using, then it will be authenticate that username and password, and it will check those identity provider whether I have a proper connection or not, authorized connection. Am I authorized to connect to that or not? Then it will just send a message. It will redirect back to the service provider. So in our case, SuccessFactor is a service provider. We are actually, if you are using anything like any HANA based or something anything other than that, so we have a SAP cloud platform in those scenario. Okay, but in our case, SuccessFactor. So you can see these skins which I have taken from SuccessFactor directly. Okay, this is how those SAML based authentication and how it works, and on the top of this. Am I clear, Lokesh? I think this is the best which I could find it out.
No, this is good. At least it gives me some idea.
Hmm,
So uh, there are user access also, right? When I say user, not the end user, but this
hmm,
API call which
hmm,
happens
hmm,
from ECP to EC. So you have to create some security authorization in ECP system in order to
hmm,
do that.
hmm,
Because how will ECP get to uh, I mean, this web service call, how will it
hmm,
get to enter into EC
hmm,
and vice versa?
hmm,
When that compound employee API will get EC employee master data back to ECP, so
hmm,
it needs some security authorization, right,
hmm,
to enter into ECP.
hmm, hmm.
So how does that happen? Uh, uh,
In terms of ECP security, you're talking about.
Both way, because when you are making a web service call to EC, right, you would
Hmm,
need to access EC. You can't just
hmm,
randomly access EC, right? You would need security authorization to access EC.
hmm,
And
hmm,
and after that, compound employee API will return the data to
hmm,
ECP, right?
hmm, hmm.
That's how it happens, right? Your
Yes.
replication program calls
Yeah.
this, makes a web service call to Compound Employee API in EC. But in order to
Mhm.
make a call, it
Mhm.
needs authorization to Employee Central System, right?
Hmm. Yes,
Do you
yes.
follow?
Yes, yes, I got it. So you're talking about those specific oath, token, and all those things.
Yes, yes, yes. If you can put those in that diagram, right?
I think I have put it before. I think if you can recall, I have put it before. Let me. Otherwise, I will share that with you again. Okay, if you in case if you missed it. Okay, I think I have already shared that. Okay, somewhere before we start this session, I think somewhere I put it. Okay, so let me. If it is not there, then I will definitely share with you because I can recall. No, this is not. This is a very generic one. I think somewhere I put it here. I think this is the compound employee API which I have given a detailed one. This is your schema level. Another thing, yeah, this is the one you're talking about. Is it related to Boomi? But it is more or less OData. This layer you're talking about, I think. OData API and employee. This is the one.
But where is that OAuth and all that stuff? Security access.
Security. I think security aspect actually it is. I didn't put it here in this diagram. Security CPI diagram. This is the one actually for individual data. Then OData absurd. This is your SOAP OData replication Boomi. It is related to Boomi. Somewhere I put it here. Okay, anyway, I will find it out and because there are 4 to 5 diagrams which I can recall now. I think there is some security layer. Let me check it and I think this is the one. Yeah, HTTP SOAP login logout and this if you go inside it then how inside this it will happen the confirmation mapping parsing and post data then again it will return back to the HTTP. It's not OAuth, it's HTTP service only, OData service. And this one first of all it will log in and log out. So whenever you are logging into the compound employee you are logging into this sending data compound employee API, then it will three things it will do like login logout query or is there any additional query. Okay, so then it will go to your SAP EC payroll and it will execute those that replication report. And there is something called your SOA runtime. Okay, SOA in the runtime application it will the service oriented architecture that particular specific runtime application it will that there is a data bundle replication request inside it. Then it will while giving a confirmation it will be running these three things: post data parsing, mapping, parsing, and posting data. Then it will be sending back again this through this HTTP or OData. Okay, so this is the diagram which I was the deep dive replication which I have covered it. Is this another one is there also like for any kind of push event it is happening, then this something called service event where exactly your web service will be coming into picture. Okay. Service event bus and business events like any kind of employee event, hiring or termination, those event specific. Okay, so in those cases you will be having this kind of applications and all. The below section it remains the same, but there will be additional push event. Okay. This two diagram which I was talking about it. Okay. I think this is the two one. Yeah. Is it clear, Lucas? You got an idea?
Sorry, I was talking on mute. No, this one is very good.
Yeah.
This one is it definitely puts a picture in my mind what I was looking for.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
diagram.
So this two diagram you just try to remember. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
somebody it is you can give an perspective here. Okay. So how these things works in HTTP. So that's not OAuth. It is HTTP SOAP while going and while coming it will be HTTP OData. Okay. So that is
Okay.
during
Just
confirmation.
just one question, Niladri. This login, logout,
Hmm.
it's happening right to left or left to right?
Right
Meaning,
to left. Compound
when
employee API towards SAP payroll. That is EC payroll.
Okay, and there is no login required in EC while this
No,
replication
no,
program
no,
calls the compound employee API.
no. So directly it is automatically means it will be because EC is your standard record system of records. Okay, for only EC to ECP you require it. For backend, actually it is not required. Automatically it will take care. So here you can see in the during your employee data replication confirmation, we do not have a login logout here. Okay, only thing is directly it will go whatever confirmation message is coming up. Okay, those mapping, parsing, and after the post data is happening, that confirmation
I
log
see.
which we can
I see.
recollect. Okay, this is
No,
how the
that's
overall understanding. Okay, so I think there is also an explanation I have not given. I think in this I have just put the diagram. If I'm finding some explanation of this, and I will share with you. Okay, I think in the slide I have not
that will be
included that.
that will
Yeah,
be that will be really helpful. Really, really helpful. This is good. Really, really good stuff.
yeah. So I will just make a note that I will find an explanation of this. I've tried to explain, but still there are some more official like, explanation of it. Then I will help
Yep.
you. Yeah, just I'm making a note. It.
I'm also just putting the slide number 336 and 337.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Oh, weekend was good. It was not that much work was there, so it was good. So
And
I
how's
will.
the COVID situation?
Situation is normal outside, but you have to adjust, taking the precautions and everything. Okay, so yeah, this is the part which I was talking about. Now let's get today's little easy topic. That is the tools which you have already seen. Some of those tools, the check tool which you have already seen. Let me go to the topic again. Yeah. So today we'll be talking about some of the tools like the check tool, which you have seen. What is the purpose of the check tool? Basically, it is a tool where exactly it will check if something is some configuration is missing and what are the types of configuration that are predefined configuration. It is not only for EC payroll, rather all other modules wherever in fact they have already given options. Okay. So what you can check like whether any data inconsistency, is there any data or system related configuration is missing. Okay, and not only that, it will also recommend like whenever you're running this check tool, it will recommend what went wrong and it will also recommend the solutions. Okay, it is not only the uh, configuration missing, that will also suggest, and also what is the missing and what configuration you have to build, that also suggest, and also it will raise suggest the notes if anything is SAP note is available to check that configuration. That also we will see that again today. Okay, so this is regarding a check tool. Other than the check tool, we do have a data replication monitor where exactly on a day-to-day, this is an admin tool, as I was mentioning. As an EC payroll admin, you have to choose like if any job, any data related replication is failed or progress. Generally, we do not check the successful status. If anything is missing in your failed, in your anything is there in the failed status or in the in progress status due to some reason, then you can monitor it as your data replication monitor. That also I will take you through today. Other than that, there are two other tools which is directly you are not part of your EC payroll. Okay, so this is just for understanding like intelligent services center. So have you ever used Locus this one in any other modules? Just on
Data replication tool, yes. This one,
no,
no.
third one, intelligent services center.
No, 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 no.
Okay, so this one actually this is not directly related to EC payroll. So like any kind of suppose I have used mostly in my previous project, two previous projects. Yeah, I have used for LMS basically. Suppose there is a new promotion. Okay, so you are promoted from an individual contributor to a manager. Then what will happen? System will automatically assign some set of learnings, set of trainings. Okay, the first time manager and all. Okay, so directly it will push. So your administrator has not, your learning administrator has not to go and assign those training. Automatically it will assign. So there are some similarly things applicable for your onboarding, offboarding as well. Okay, so whenever there is an offboarding is happening or any existing employee exit is happening, automatically your payroll related records will be delimited and all. So those stuffs actually you can do it in using this intelligent service center. Okay, so I have not very frequently used it. Some of the scenario which I talked about. So in those cases you can use it, and you can it's a good to understand this is a tool. So this is an intelligent service center. Okay, so there are different options here. First, as I was explaining, the first time manager. So another most frequently common scenario is the global assignment. Okay, so what happens? Suppose you are going for a global assignment to any other country. So in the host country, you will be getting paid as per the suppose for it is for a 6 month or 8 month. Okay, so for those period, you will be getting paid as per the host country. Okay, but in the your previous your base country wherever you are previously working, it may happen that salary may be changed. Okay, that you may be only getting the basic part, not the other allowances and all. Okay, so in those cases you can also use this intelligent service center. You don't have to remember anything, rather automatically there will be trigger. Okay, you'll be getting notified. And also as the EC admin, you can, this is more related to EC. Okay, but these events can be easily managed using this intelligent service center. So this is one of the good tool to understand. Okay, just for a coverage point of view, I just kept it here, but ideally it is not part of your EC payroll. Okay,
Do you have
so
any idea on that topic? EC to EC payroll replication under these two circumstances. First is concurrent employment, and the second one is global employment.
when you say global employment, that is global assignment you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, this actually scenario, my colleagues have worked on this, but I didn't get a chance to work on this. Okay, if anything is information is I'm finding out, I will try to edit here. So I will give that information later on, but I have not worked on this two area, to be honest with you.
Okay. Okay. Because in global assignment also you have this. Now I can't recollect because when I did this ECP in 2016, we had this scenario to a very great extent. Employees were moving a lot from UK to US to Canada. So they would have two partners. I mean, in ECP side, that concept is very straightforward. Global assignment, two partners. But I can't recollect how it is linked onto the EC side, whether it is person ID or whatever ID, user ID. I can't even remember uh, how that whole replication works. When I say replication works, basically that person ID partner mapping onto the EC side. And similarly for concurrent employment also, because in concurrent employment you end up having multiple positions at the same time, and
Same time.
sometimes multiple partners also. So that if you can get me some information, that will be fabulous.
Definitely. I will do that. Actually, I have attended a session on that, but actually, once you do not work on that area, you will never remember. So definitely, I will take a note of it. I'm taking note of it. I will definitely help you in that. So the next one is the integration center. So integration center, it is again platform functionality, nothing specific for EC payroll. Okay. So there are various how you can monitor those integrations, how you can, so there is some scheduled job is existing there. Okay, that you can monitor using this integration center. And also there are this is a very generic one. I have kept it here. Like if any middle integration if you are using. So at present, not only we do not have those kind of scenario, but if you are using, suppose in the past, like Delbumi and some of the clients still use it. Okay, so those integration monitoring and all. Okay, so notifications this is coming or not, doing the entire health checkup of those integrations and all, you can check by using this integration center. Okay, so just an overview of this, I kept it here. Okay, and also you can monitor, there are some pre-delivered integrations, there are some standard integrations, like here you can see in the example the pay range, some payroll configuration category. So all those entities, if you like to see, and all these things, I kept it here. Okay, so all these things you can monitor using this. Just an overview of that. But from an EC payroll point of view, the first one, second one, the data replication monitor check tool, these two are very important. And also the next two which I will be talking about, that is your SLG one, that is your how to analyze an application log, okay, how to understand that particular log, okay.
But
This is an important.
this
Hmm.
integration monitor, sorry, go back
Hmm.
to that integration monitor.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, can you monitor anything related to P2P or it's just middleware related?
This is only related to your middleware related, not your P2P. P2P is a data replication monitor. Data replication monitor, all these things you
Data
can check.
replication and SLG1.
SLG one, huh? Yeah, the SLG one, yeah, but it is actually for at a platform level. Okay, so this is nothing to do with your EC payroll. Only for if you are using middleware or anything else that you have to check it here.
Can you use it at the time of Delboomi or HCI?
Delboomi HCI you can use it. You can monitor those if you are using. Okay, so that you can check it here using this
That's
integration
good.
set. Okay, for that reason, actually, some of the students actually they have used their participants they have used Delboomi and all. Okay, so for that reason they have asked how to monitor that. For that reason, actually, I have included this topic here. Otherwise, previously it was not there. I have included just last one before session. Okay, so just a basic understanding of integration center, how it works. Okay, how this interface looks like. For that reason, I kept it here. But another important one is actually SLG1. So SLG1, you can monitor your and analyze your application log depending upon your restriction and all. Okay, so you can check it here on the detailed application. Similarly, SLG2, suppose if you like to delete over a period of time, suppose all those expired logs, whatever the logs have been expired, okay, that you would like to delete those on a time periodical basis, that you can use this SLG2. Okay, so deleting your expired logs. Similarly, there is another utilities tool which is known as the web services utilities, SRT util. Okay, so that is your transaction. Where exactly if you are finding any, this is more of a generally the integration consultants generally I have seen they have used it for any kind of troubleshooting they would like to see, so they can use this web service utilities to check those error logs. Okay, so having said that, these are the seven different tools I talked about. Now I'll be taking you to the system and I will show you how it works and all.
Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.